Today, we're going to be covering Erika Kirk for Dummies. Ever find yourself around the water cooler at work or at happy hour saying, "Well, what is all this Erika Kirk stuff that I hear?" Well, I'm going to bring you that stuff. And a lot of things have been said by commentators, by podcasters, and I'm going to give you all the things they allegedly think and all the claims they allegedly made. And dare I say, let's rock. The Joe Rossano Show is next. So, my dearest friends and fellow Americans, unless you've been on the moon for the last, 5 or 6 months, Charlie Kirk, Chief Executive Officer, Turning Point USA, the guy, you saw on college campuses arguing with the college kids with their phones out and trying to give them their voice and just trying to have what he would call was nice political discourse, okay, with no violence, etc. Well, on the 10th of September 2025, Charlie Kirk was assassinated. Allegations have been widespread ever since. One of the allegations is you had a very young man, 22 years old, Tyler Robinson. He somehow got onto the campus with a rifle, went up to the roof, shot Charlie Kirk in the neck. Everybody's pretty much seen the video. And later that day, Charlie Kirk was pronounced dead. Now, his widow, Erika Kirk. And again, let me be very clear. These are allegations. These are allegations, folks. Nothing has been proven in court. She's not been taken to court. She's not been taken into the box, if you will, into the interrogation room with a light on her, etc. None of that stuff has happened, but podcasters, newscasters, media everywhere, allegations everywhere. And here are some of those allegations. And again, this is Erika for Dummies here. Going to need my glasses because, oh my goodness, we just have a lot to cover. So please like, share, subscribe, click the notification bell, comment for all the latest episodes of the Joe Rossano Show. Immediately after this young man's death, and let me repeat, this young man's death, 31 years old, this was a tragedy. Whether you like Charlie Kirk, dislike Charlie Kirk, loved Charlie Kirk, hated Charlie Kirk, this was a tragedy. So you have his company, his entity, Turning Point USA, hundreds of millions of dollars, probably one of the most influential companies or entities in the United States. His widow, Erika Kirk, formerly Erika Franze, you may remember her from the reality TV stuff she's done, former Miss Arizona. She is immediately named Chief Executive Officer. And I'm going to get back to, again, her resume. Model, Miss Arizona, Charlie Kirk's wife, had a real estate license in New York City, etc. I mean, nothing would suggest Chief Executive Officer. And, I can't help but think, okay, as we're going to go through this, let's call it cavalcade of missteps, which that's a fact, at least in my opinion, and why loud voices out there, Candace Owens in particular, just have a plethora of opinions, whether they are true or not. They're everywhere now. And that's why I'm here to break this down for you. Again, you ever try to fix a faucet and get the book, Faucets for Dummies, reading directions for dummies, plumbing for dummies, bowling for dummies. So this is Erika Kirk for Dummies. So instead of, and I'm saying all this figuratively speaking, instead of installing a interim CEO, right? Like, let's call it the person from Cash App or whomever, person from PayPal, I mean, anybody, okay, a seasoned CEO, they name Erika Kirk CEO pretty much immediately. Okay, now that's his wife. So let's Let's give that a pass for the moment because I'm going to get to that. Okay, so here's kind of where all the stuff started happening. Okay, so they have a memorial for this young man. Okay, and during that memorial, she walks out in with pyrotechnics. Okay, it looked like Gene Simmons and Paul Stanley, like in full makeup, were behind her, getting ready to walk out with her. Looked like a metal show. Okay. Now she gets on a Zoom call and says this is the event of the century, called her husband's memorial the event of the century. Probably not something I would have said, but that's what Mrs. Kirk said on that Zoom call. Okay. Again, let me take my glasses off here because I'm really doing my best here to keep a straight face. She discusses the merch sales at the memorial. The merch sales. Anybody out there, Gen Xers, baby boomers, anyone like myself who is decade impaired, merchandise. Okay. So let me say this again. She has memorial for her late husband who was just assassinated. Okay. She walks out on stage, lights everywhere, sparkle stuff everywhere. Okay. Right. Tommy Lee on the drums. I'm just kidding. And is selling t-shirts, hats, whatever. Okay. Now, I'm not a widow expert. Okay. I'm not an memorial events expert, but I could say this. My wife is this big, giant, huge star everybody knows, and she's assassinated. I'm not selling t-shirts or hats or bracelets, okay, or shoelaces at my wife's memorial. I'm walking on stage quietly, in tears, talk about my late wife. The whole thing just it looks staged. And I mean, this is why, quite frankly, if you're hearing all this Erika Kirk stuff, these are some of the reasons allegedly why she catches so much crap. If it were me, right, I would got, Ray Donovan, the fixer, or you ever see Pulp Fiction? I would have got Mr. Wolf to give me some advice as to what not to do or how to fix this stuff. I would have said, hey, look, let's get an interim chief executive so you have time to mourn with your children. When you go out on stage for this memorial, wear all black, okay? Quietly. No fireworks, no light show. I'm just using common sense as to why she catches so much stuff. So, you know, there is like a grief period, right? They say that, I don't know, you try to forget it or you live in denial, et cetera, et cetera. It's just, again, I'm not a widow expert, but I'm going to say some of this is strange, folks. It's strange. So they have what is called AmFest. Okay. Now, you want to walk out during AmFest, the festival, with some lights and pyrotechnics. That sounds reasonable. Sounds reasonable. Now, one of the things that they did is they recreated the setting, the display, the tent or the canopy. It was either the original or a replica that Charlie Kirk was shot under. And they allow people to go under that tent, under that canopy to take pictures. Whether that's symbolism or whatever the case may be, supporters and critics were just extremely disturbed by this. I'm going to give you some examples of something. Again, the vehicle that President Kennedy was shot in, right, is still around today, by the way. It's, I believe, in the Henry Ford Museum. So let's take a look. Vehicle President Kennedy was shot in. Okay, that was Midnight Blue 4-door, 1961 Lincoln Continental. Let me tell you why I bring this up. Okay, and it is in, yep, I was right, the Henry Ford Museum in Dearborn, Michigan. So let's say I go to Dearborn, Michigan, okay, and I want to check this car out. I want to go see this car, okay? And I get in this car and start taking pictures. People would be outraged. And let me take it a step further. What if Jackie Kennedy, weeks after her husband's assassination, plans to allow people to get into this vehicle and take pictures? Yeah, I have every reason to believe she would never do something like that. And do you see where I'm coming from? I mean, again, let's move on to something else, okay, that has to do with the late John F. Kennedy. Okay. It was, I want to say, was it the sixth floor of the book depository, not suppository, it's depository. Okay, sixth floor of book depository. Can you imagine if they allowed tourists to go to Dallas, Texas, the sixth floor of the book depository, take a replica rifle and start taking pictures? Can you imagine that? Because I can't. I just can't imagine that at all. I really can't. So at the end of the day, folks, what are people supposed to make of this? No wonder why Candace Owens goes on there every day and makes these allegations, because whoever is advising Erika Kirk has done just a horrific job at it. And because now we have misstep after misstep after misstep here, folks. So let me give you a few more. You're going to love these. During that Zoom call, Erika decided to do Charlie 2.0. Now, what's 2.0? That suggests it's change. It's an upgrade. Okay, like your cell phone or your laptop. Did Charlie want any of these changes? Okay. But Erika obviously did. She does a book tour, okay? She does multiple interviews, Fox, CBS, all talking about the same talking points in this Shabbat Shalom. Like Charlie said that every 7 seconds. Okay, she tells Jesse Waters that Charlie needed a good night's sleep before September 10th on the 9th. Now, again, these are allegations. These aren't proven, but I'm just telling you what Mrs. Kirk said, okay, that he needed a good night's sleep. She told him to go sleep in their 3-year-old daughter's room. Now, let me be very clear. I have every reason to believe that the 3-year-old daughter went into the master bedroom, got in bed with mom, and Charlie went and got in that bed by himself. Okay. But it's my understanding, just looking at the guy, looks fit to be about 6'2", 6'3". I guess the 3-year-old had a pretty darn big bed for him to sleep in. And then, again, this is common sense. Okay. This is a guess. Okay. Say the same thing. Okay. I'm big time podcaster. All right. Everybody loves me. And I needed a good night's sleep. I probably sleep better next to my wife. Okay. That's personal stuff. Okay. I don't know. I sleep better when I'm in bed with her. What can I tell you? I'm old fashioned. But if she said, why don't you sleep in I have a daughter. Why don't you sleep in our daughter's room? Right? She wouldn't. You know why? Because my wife would go sleep in my daughter's room. I'd get the big giant master bed in the big giant master bedroom if I needed a good night's sleep. And I have every reason to believe my wife would take our daughter's bed. Okay? Go get in bed with our daughter. It's just you see what I'm saying out there, right, parents? I mean, if you want your partner, your husband, wife, whatever the case may be, to get a good night's sleep, you're going to let them sleep in the bed, and you are the one who is going to have alternate sleeping arrangements. Not, hey, I want you to get a good night's sleep. Why don't you go get in our 3-year-old's bed? She can sleep with me tonight. Just it sounds weird. It sounds weird. Okay. And it just doesn't stop there. Again, you have Erika, Mrs. Kirk, getting filmed while she's in front of while at Charlie Kirk's casket, getting filmed, and puts it on social media. Okay, puts it on Instagram. Again, I'm not a widow expert. I'm not a widower. Thank God. Okay, but if I am over my wife's casket, do not take my picture. Do not take my picture. And I'm not posting anything that has to do with my wife's memorial, my wife's funeral on social media. I'm not selling T-shirts, my wife's picture on them at her memorial. And again, at the end of the day, that is why I keep getting back to this. That's why she takes so much crap, because it seems like everything she has done has just been the absolute wrong thing. Every single thing. And I'm just going to give you some examples. And I've coined this, by the way. It's a hashtag. It's called an Erika. Hashtag and Erika. And what is that? When you do the absolute worst possible thing you could do, okay? House is on fire. You get a hose, no water in the hose, so you hose it off with gasoline. Makes no sense. You ever play blackjack at the casino? You got a 19 and the dealer has a 6 showing, and you're like, hit me. Okay? That's the worst possible decision you could make. And what would make it even infinitely worse if somebody's sitting next to you saying, take a hit. Makes no sense. It makes no sense. If you're puffing the cheeb in the bathroom at the police station, I mean, hey, there's just things you don't do. Those are the worst possible decisions you could make, and it's an Erika. It's an Erika. That's what I say now. Every time somebody does something that I think is just a complete misstep, I say, man, that's a real Erika you got there. It's an Erika. I mean, it's just I could go on here for days, but again, what I wanted to do, folks, is basically give you the Erika Kirk overview for dummies. Okay. And I got to tell you, when I get back to Ray Donovan, the fixer, Mr. Wolf, she needs a Mr. Wolf, or she should have had a Mr. Wolf in the beginning. Because here are the allegations, okay? And again, the loudest voice of these allegations, as everyone knows, is Candace Owens. And here's what they say. She is a handler, okay? A government asset, either a U.S. or a foreign government asset. Now, these are allegations, nothing proven. Nobody's been in court. There's been no adjudication. These are strictly the accusations and the allegations that I am reporting to you. Is, again, she is making decisions that are crazy, in my opinion, and many people's opinion. So she's a handler. Okay. Government asset, as always, tell Gen X, the baby boomers, et cetera, the people like myself who are decade impaired. She's a secret agent. Okay. Placed in Charlie Kirk's life. Okay. They picked Miss Arizona to go woo Charlie. And can't say I blame him. Very lovely young lady. They get married. They have children. And all the while, he is under surveillance by his own wife. She's watching over him. She's handling him, making sure that he is walking the line properly for her secret agent bosses. Okay. So basically, I would suggest a really good Arnold Schwarzenegger movie back in the 80s. Okay. Total Recall. Okay. Sharon Stone is Arnold Schwarzenegger's wife. Okay. But she's a fake wife. She's not a real wife. She was put into Arnold Schwarzenegger, into Quaid's life, to make sure that the recall implant worked. Okay. So basically, she's not his real wife. She's just watching over him to make sure he doesn't go rogue. Now, of course, it's a movie. He goes rogue, and she tries to kill him, and she is in the midst of a conspiracy with others to try to kill him. That's the claim. That are the allegations that they are making about Erika Kirk. Okay, is that she is some type of secret agent, 0069. I mean, who knows? And he's being watched by her. Now, Charlie starts to do some things that are outside what would appear that the handlers, that the secret agents and the agencies or the foreign governments or the governments don't like. We're going to start with what their team, their legal department, calls a Doge style effort, because it was said it's a Doge style audit, but their attorneys started writing letters, cease and desist. It's not a Doge style audit, it's a Doge style effort. Okay. But the acronym Doge is still there, Department of Government Efficiency. So in order to have a Doge style effort, allegedly, I mean, this is common sense. This is just my opinion and the opinion of many, is a forensic look at the books. Look at the finances. Okay. And it would appear to the conspiracy folks out there anyway, that that's a no-no. No, we can't have Charlie, the chief executive officer, looking at the financials. We're all in trouble now. Okay. Then he had donors, some from foreign governments, we had donors, lots of donors, and he didn't want to do business with some of these donors anymore. Okay. So you see what happened? He realized he was Quaid. Okay. The implant didn't take from total recall. Now he's in trouble. Now his handler, and this is all allegedly, this is what they say. Now handler, Erika Franze, now Erika Kirk, now has to pull the strings, okay? Now has to pull the lever, press the button on Charlie Kirk. So her and her handlers and whomever else is involved all get together, conspiracy. Charlie Kirk ends up dead, whether it was a bullet wound from a 30-06, whether his microphone exploded. The theories are everywhere. Okay. And again, that's what they are. They're theories. Nobody's gone to court yet, except Tyler Robinson had his preliminary hearing, and he is facing the death sentence. We're going to get to that in just a moment. But what do we make of all of this? So again, if you're back at the water cooler or at happy hour saying, what's up with all this Erika Kirk stuff? That's the stuff. That's the stuff. Okay. And again, a lot of this stuff, that unproven are just people's opinions. She hugged J.D. Vance, touched his hair. Okay. And now, there it goes. He's going to leave his wife, and him and Eric are going to get together and be the president and first lady. I mean, they're all over the place. But what I will say is this: I'm a married guy. And if I died and had this big company and my wife took it over, I sure as heck would hope she didn't do, quite frankly. Now, this is a fact, what I've seen Erika Kirk do. If my wife goes on stage, pyrotechnics, light show, forgives the guy that shot me who hasn't even been to court yet, I'm not going to be very happy about that. And does business with donors, etc., that I didn't want to do business with anymore. I wouldn't like that either. I'd resurrect myself, come back, and start firing everybody. I mean, quite frankly, including her. I just don't understand some of this behavior. And again, got to get back to this. I'm not, my dearest friends and fellow Americans, a widow expert. But do I have to be a widow expert to say that some of this is strange? Selling merchandise at at your dead husband's memorial? Is that normal? Maybe I'm behind the times here. Maybe that's the thing nowadays. I know things aren't really funerals or viewings anymore. They're kind of celebrations of life, and they show videos of, and I think that's beautiful. But I mean, I got to tell you, I never went to a memorial in the past few years in my life, actually, and bought a T-shirt with the deceased face on it or their company name. Okay, I didn't buy a hat while I was there, nor did anybody offer to sell me one. It's strange, folks. It's suspicious. It's suspicious. And here's the worst thing of all. Well, it's the second worst thing of all. I'm going to get to the worst thing of all. Is she has done, I'm going to use this term again, a crappy job of explaining all of this. Whoever is advising her, I can't understand any of it. I really can't. Again, I get back to Ray Donovan, Mr. Wolf, or Joe Rossano here. Interim CEO, Erika. Okay. The only time I want to see you on camera, Erika, is with your kids crying. Otherwise, I don't want to see you again. That's the first thing I would have told her. Your new CEO is so and so. Okay. Until some time passes. It's just like, it's like, it's not cool. Like when people say, be cool, be cool. Okay. Nobody told her to be cool. Nobody. It's just one misstep after another, one bad decision after another. She tells people that stop asking questions. She says stop. They're not going to stop. You can't have the Utah governor go on television and say go outside and touch grass and think people are going to do that. That's not psychology. I learned that in my first class of psychology at Essex Community College. Don't tell someone they can't or there's nothing to see here. Don't touch that. They're going to touch it. Touch grass. Come on. Nothing to see here. That doesn't work. It doesn't work. Stop asking questions. That doesn't work. It invites more questions. It gets you right in the situation that you're in now. And what situation are you in now, Erika Kirk? You are supposed to be beloved. You're supposed to be like the most loved person on earth right now. Charlie Kirk's widow. Even the Democrats are supposed to love you. The women on The View are supposed to love you. You're supposed to be on The View right now with Whoopi and the rest of them saying, oh, we're so sorry. You're so brave. We're so sorry. Nope. Nope. Every day it's a new allegation made about you. Every day you don't explain it. And every day it makes you look worse. It makes you look worse. I can't get over this. Just can't get over it. Erika, give me a call. I'll advise you going forward, really, because whoever's doing it's doing a terrible job, Erika. It's terrible. It really, really is. So let's get to what everybody is talking about right this second. And those were text messages and tweets that went back and forth between Erika Kirk and a 15-year-old. She is now an adult. Her name is Jillian. Okay. I would say don't reach out to Jillian, but Candace Owens beat everybody to that one. It took Candace Owens 0.41 seconds to reach out to Jillian. There were highly inappropriate comments going back and forth between Erika Kirk, Erika Franze at the time, 25 years old, and a young woman named Jillian, who was 15 at the time. Okay. Again, can I get back to myself, please? I'm 25. I don't have a relationship with a 15-year-old. I don't even know anybody that's 15 when I'm 25. Unless it was, I don't know, my nephew or something. I don't know. I mean, a 15-year-old and the comments they were making back and forth, or the comments that Well, Erika's comments, I should say, hers are private. She has her Twitter, her ex or Twitter at the time, set on private, so only the people that she allows to see it can see it. And that's not uncommon. People do that on lots of different social media. Like you can only read comment or her friends can only read the comments, etc. So that's not uncommon. Okay. But again, just the stuff. So this is the latest. Okay, breaking news here. This from Candace Owens. Now, this is allegedly because I didn't hear Candace say it. She didn't call me on the phone and say it. Okay, but I have pretty good source here. Says that Candace Owens said the following. Here we go. After striking up a bizarre friendship with a 15-year-old girl who lives in a trailer park, not saying that matters. Okay, without a father. Okay, this is Candace Owens saying. Then 25-year-old Erika Franze at the time proceeds to love bomb Jillian. That's 15-year-old. She's now an adult, name's Jillian. Proceeds to love bomb Jillian by telling her how beautiful she is. She then asks Jillian for her address and sends her chocolate covered strawberries. Now, again, that in and of itself, okay, is not evidence of wrongdoing. But again, I'm not sending a 15-year-old kid a soccer ball. So, all right, she sends her some chocolate covered strawberries, meaning that Erika was well aware of where Jillian lived. And he says in order to send her the chocolate covered, I can't stop laughing, the chocolate covered strawberries, that Erika had to know where the young lady lived. Erika knew she was not living with a father in the home. Uh, like Erika knew she was a minor. And yet, according to Jillian, this is what Jillian told Candace Owens. Okay. This is according to this report. This did not stop Erika from arranging for her to get photographs taken, a photo session, without ever having communicated with her mother. Okay, now that's illegal. Okay. You're 25. You can't try to arrange a photo shoot with a 15-year-old without telling the legal guardian. So, perhaps Erika just didn't know that. I mean, that's possible, but that's the report. Okay. I mean, to be clear, I mean, nobody is, including Candace Owens, is accusing Erika of committing any crime. But I am saying that questions need to be asked because it's her strong opinion that it is utterly impossible that Erika continues to have proximity to people, places, and organizations accused of child sex trafficking. So basically, the trailer park that this young lady, Jillian, at the time, 15 years old, lived in with her mother, had a reputation of some sex trafficking activity going on in that location. And it's my understanding it was quite a bit. So, again, let's bring this all together. Erika Kirk has a relationship, and I'm talking, I'm not saying a amorous relationship, but has an online relationship, at least online and offline relationship with a young lady named Jillian, 15 years old, sends Jillian some chocolate covered strawberries to her residence, tries to set up a photo shoot. This again is allegedly without asking the young lady's mother. This is just and let me tell you where this really causes a problem. Human nature, folks, human nature is this. If you get accused of something that's pretty bad, it's pretty embarrassing, most folks, and I'm going to raise my hand here, are going to move heaven and earth to exonerate themselves. Heaven and earth. Right now, I'm on 60 Minutes or on Joe Rogan or wherever I can get the most eyeballs with my lawyer, with my laptop, with all those tweets that were private. Now they're public. Here's what I said right here. Boom, 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 boom. No problem. I didn't say anything dirty. I didn't say anything out of line. I didn't hit on the 15-year-old. Nope. No explanation. No nothing. As usual, which always makes these matters worse. Which makes these matters worse. And that's what people say. Look, if you're not a handler, if you're not a secret agent 0069, if you were not involved in Charlie's assassination, come out here. Come on to Joe Rossano show where don't go on a podcast where it gets 50 million views. Come on a guy like me because you have two types of people out there. They either are supporting Erika Kirk or they despise Erika Kirk. I'm in neutral. I'm in neutral. Again, Ghostbusters, we are willing to believe you. I want to give you a chance, Erika, to put a stop to this, to shut this down. Really. Candace Owens goes on every single day and she's tearing your reputation to shreds. You don't even put up your darn dukes. You don't even say anything back. And I don't want to hear you turning the other cheek. Yeah, seems like you turned this one. I mean, I really, if somebody accuses me of all this bad stuff, I'm coming on here with my microphone saying, no, I didn't. I didn't do it. Here's my tweets. I didn't do any of this stuff. I'm not sure as heck not going to sit quietly. I'm not going to sell a T-shirt. There's no way. There is no way. Again, the manner in which all of this was handled is why these allegations not only have been made, but why they continue to be made. So there you go. Right there. What is all this Erika Kirk stuff? That's this Erika Kirk stuff. Right there. Right there. I mean, talk about Candace Owens. Honestly, I'm going to give her, she gets a partial pass. She's getting just a partial pass for this reason. She had a very friendly personal relationship with Charlie Kirk. I think she wants to know who killed her friend. But I'm a podcaster, okay? And she's making a few bucks. She's making a few bucks. And now I have a new drinking game, okay? It's called Erika. It's called Candace and Erika. Okay, you ready? Here's how the game is played. All right. Anybody over 21, I'm going to make that very clear, wants to play the drinking game. Okay. The Candace Erika drinking game. And this game only lasts 5 minutes. The first 5 minutes of every Candace Owens episode after she does her thing, I don't want to say her kind of like her opening monologue. Okay. As soon as her opening begins, 5-minute clock starts. Okay. Every time Candace Owens, if you're over 21, that is, every time Candace Owens says Erika, you got to take a drink. Every time. Erika, drink. Erika, drink. Erika, drink. And the object of the game is if you cannot regurgitate or pass out within that 5 minutes. That's the game right there. All right. Fun for everyone. It's over the age of 21. Okay. The Candace Erika drinking game coming to a store near you. Again, try that. Try that. Because, again, if Candace Owens isn't accusing somebody's widow of having, or excuse me, somebody's wife of having a penis, okay? Me personally, I got to see the D before I'll come on here and report it. And she wonders why she gets sued. And it's all day, every day. Erika, 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 Erika. I'm Erika drunk. Get it? Erika drunk from that drinking game. Okay, now, full disclosure, many of you know me personally. I don't drink alcohol. I really don't. Could you imagine if I did? But that's the new game. We got a new game, Candace Erika drinking game, and we got a new hashtag, an Erika. An Erika. When you could not possibly handle a situation any worse, it's an Erika. I think that's amazing. So, what I'm going to do here now, folks, okay, and and I get a lot of it. I am going to read some of your, let's see here. I'm going to read some of your comments, okay? Because, man, I'll tell you, I really get them. And let me take a look. Well, she kept Erika out of her mouth in the beginning until Erika lied. So get your story straight, buddy. And if you can't see that stuff shady, then you need to check yourself. I didn't say it wasn't shady. I didn't say it wasn't shady. Who was it? Danny Ann X. DANIANNX. Danny Ann. Listen to me again. She kept Erica, which it's not Erica, ERICKA. It's ERIK there, Danny. So before you call me out, make sure you spell Erica right. No offense. And get my stuff straight. I never said it wasn't shady. I said it's suspicious. I say it's shady. I say the guy, that they claim the guy got shot with a 30-odd six, and half his neck would be gone, and that Erika Kirk's behavior, although I'm not a widow expert, has been suspicious. So I mean, don't tell me to get my story straight. I mean, watch the whole darn episode. In Candace we trust. Okay. And then somebody says only the insane and the godless. Only the insane and the godless. No, sweetheart. We who are smart do not trust in the stop Candace is feeding your all. Wow. I'm Team Candace, says Susan. She's doing a phenomenal job. Not a Candace hater, but she sure makes a lot of money from this tragedy. Couldn't have said that better myself. Could not have said it better myself. So there you go. Erika for Dummies. I hope this was educational. Again, not making accusations, not making allegations. Nothing has been proven in court. Okay, nobody's gone to jail. Okay, except for Tyler Robinson. Okay, and then we'll see how that all plays out. But as always, my dearest friends and fellow Americans, I just graciously appreciate you taking time to tune in to the Joe Rossano Show, where we are unfiltered, unbiased, uncensored. Please like, share, subscribe, click the notification bell, comment, and I'll read them just like I did here. For all the latest episodes of the Joe Rossano Show, as always, my dearest friends and fellow Americans, God bless you. Do not forget to adopt a pet. And we'll see you next time.